Hey everyone, it's Tiffany from Let's Get Scrappy, and I have a scrappy Christmas craft to share with you. Karolina and I are starting it back up for 2024, and the goal is to post a Christmas project every month so that we can use up our stash, which I keep buying more, so it's going to be hard, but our goal is to do it on the 25th of every month, but as you can see, that doesn't always happen just based on life things happening, but we will still try to get it done each month for you around that time frame. But here is my first project. This is a folio album, and I did use the 12 by 12 that of this collection, Echo Park Gnome for Christmas, that I picked up from Country Craft Creations. And I used the 12 by 12 as well as the frames and tags along with the sticker sheet that comes in that. And then hopefully I'll be able to use, this 6 by 6. Plus I still have a lot of scraps, so I didn't do very much smashing of my stash with this one. But I did use some gold foil throughout, as well as matting with a white 65-pound weight cardstock from Country Craft Creations. My base is black Artisan, and let's just get into it. So on the cover, this is from the frames and tags pack, and then I had made these flowers, so all of this is just from my stash. Some die cut leaves, some punched out leaves. I'm not quite sure that I like this yet. We'll see. This was from the sticker sheet down with the border stickers. And then the spine looks like this and looks like this here. So this is not a vertical folio. This is a horizontal folio. You still could probably do it as vertical. Totally up to you. But it is a 4.5, 4.25. 4.25 by 8.5 style folio. You could do it 4.5 if you want and just change up some of the measurements on the inside if you want to make sure you have enough room. Mine is exact to my matting, so you can change it up, but we will have a tutorial right after this, and hopefully everything uploads how it's supposed to. Otherwise, there'll be just a video of a walkthrough until I can get everything, up and running. So I have a tied closure, and it opens up like so. Just want to make sure you guys can still see everything. So this is my top, this is my bottom, this is how we're going to build it, but you could have it like this if you want to. So just know you don't have to have this kind of big thing up at the top. That's how I built it. But there's always options. You can do it however you'd like. So let's go ahead and go down to the bottom first. And this really was to use up some of the cut-aparts. So you have the 3x4 cut-aparts here, and it's just symmetrical throughout as far as the build. I have some little photo mats in here. These are 3x4, so you would have to cut down a 3x4 photo, or you could just use it for journaling. Nice little journal spot there. Opens up to a blank page here, and then here's 3x4 cut aparts again. So I do, like I said, I have that mixture of gold and white throughout the album for the matting. And then it opens up like this. These open up, which I probably won't be able to get this all the way in, but you have a little pocket with a photo mat, and I think these are, I don't show this in the tutorial, but 2.5 by 3.5. Yeah, so you'll need 2 of those if you want the same size, and you could fit more into this pocket if you want to. But again, you could either do your Insta photos on there or journal, whichever, or gift cards. You can make this as a baby little flip book and then put little gift cards in there for them to go shopping. So have fun with it. And then these open up. They're just stacked on top of each other like so. And then you have little sticker tuck spots here. And you fold it back up. And these meet. So when you do yours, make sure we dry fit so that these meet and don't touch each other. It's fine. Like I have a little space in there. That doesn't bother me as long as they're not touching or overlapping. That would be weird. And then I do have a tie closure here, but you also could do like a 4x4 photo mat. Is a terrible tie job, but a 4x4 photo mat, put magnets in here and then close it that way, so the 4x4 would go like right here. Up to you. Up top, I used from the sticker sheet, I popped this up with some scrap chipboard and then matted this sticker with black. And this just is a little closure. You don't have to have this if you don't want to. I could see like powder where I was getting the sticky stuff off. You don't have to have this piece if you don't want. I just liked it all kind of closed up. But it opens. I'm going to slide this down so you can see like that. Oops. And then there's a little pocket here. This is from one of the 12x12 sheets. And then I just matted it on the white cardstock for a journal spot. And you could put, there's I think 3 total on that 12x12 sheet. You can put them all in this pocket. There's enough room. And then we open up here. Love this little pip-all. So pretty. And then opens up to that. And then we have our 4x4s. Here, this portion, and we'll go through that through the tutorial, is 4 1/8 by 4 1/4, because I wanted to make sure that it fit inside this. Now, if you leave yourself a little bit of space, you could do 4 1/4 by 4 1/4 and mat, all that good stuff. But that's just what I did for here. And these are just accordion fold outs. I did use a couple magnets in here just to keep it, you know, tight. And then it goes this way here. So I matted with cardstock, then white in between. Added stickers, but took the sticky off so you had little tuck spots. Same thing on this side. Here, it just folds out. So I have 2 sets of magnets on each side. And then this is a nice spot for a photo or two. And this is a tuck spot. And then here is the other side, like so. And that just folds up on itself. So that is the project we are going to make today. And I just think it's so cute. Now, like I said, this is already a little, like it's chunky, where like, I mean, obviously my tie closure is bumping it, and same with like the chipboard flower. But you could make this bigger if you wanted to. You don't have to. And obviously, if you're not someone who mats like I do, which, oh, more power to you, because it's a lot more work to mat. But if you don't mat, it won't be as chunky. So just kind of giving you some tips for what you want to do for your own. And yeah, I think that's it. So let's get started with the tutorial. I'm going to leave this open in case we need to take a peek at it while we're doing the tutorial. So I'm going to set this up here. And then what we're going to need, and I used mostly 8.5 by 11 cardstock because it saved me from a lot of scraps. So that's mostly what I used, other than like to cover this. I think that was all. Yeah, to cover the cover up, because I used just one piece of cardstock for this. So this is a 10 by 12. Let me see if I cut it down. Yes, 10 by 12 piece. And then we are going to have 2 pieces of chipboard that is 4 1/4 by 8.5. You don't have to do chipboard if you don't want. You can just do, what would this be? 8.5 by something. I don't know what that measurement would be, but if you really need to know, let me know. I'll figure it out. But 2 pieces of chipboard by 4 1/4 by 8.5, and then for the spine, just 1 inch by 8.5. And this is where, like, if you've been doing things, we usually have 1 inch around the, you know, border. We don't need that. I'm telling y'all, we don't need an inch. And I wanted to get this on 1 piece of paper because I don't like when I have to glue 2 pieces together. So I try not to. especially for these little folios. You could have a 1/2 inch and be fine. I've done it before. You just need to make sure it's really sealed down good and you're good to go. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm going to score mine really quick just for just to get it going. Boop. Okay, I'm gonna do it this side in case the writing's. So we're about I don't know, what was that? Probably like 3/8. I mean 5/8 of an inch. I'm just doing some random scoring. I don't know what it was. I think maybe 3/4 is good. Let's do 3/4. This is just a guide. You don't have to do this, and you could just stick it down and eyeball it. I've done that before too. If you followed my channel, you've seen that before. I'm just doing a quick little guide for me to line up the chipboard. But if you have spacers, you can use your, is there 3/4 of an inch? Maybe there's just a 1/2 inch. I don't remember, but we're just going to stick this down. And I use score sheets that I got from Country Craft Creations. And like I said earlier, this is black Artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations, which I absolutely love, especially for the covers. It just is nice quality cardstock. If I accidentally buy cheap cardstock, I use that for like photo mats or something, or a quick little folio, you know, cardstock folio thing. Okay, and then let me grab my other score tape. It's got a fuzzy on it. And you don't have to do this part. I just do it, and some people use 1/4 inch. I like the 1/8 inch just as a guide again, and in my head I feel like it secures it a little bit better. I don't know that it actually does. I have no idea. That's just in my crazy head, and there's a lot of crazy in there. And I just use some scrap pieces of score tape from my score tape sheets. My score tape sheets, is that a thing, or is it score sheets? I don't know. And I'm just going to give a little bit extra room just to make sure. Usually I go all the way up to that score tape, but this time I just want to make sure I have enough room since the pages and everything are exact as the chipboard. Not sure if that made sense, but you guys will see what I mean. And if you don't do this, that's okay too, because on the first one I didn't. It was just really tight, because originally I did want, you know, my accordion to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, but I did not have enough space, and that's okay. You just adjust. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, just keep going. It's okay. And always, if you're new to my channel, the biggest tip is to, I didn't burnish any of this, I could see, is to watch the tutorial first, take your notes. Definitely do not, I repeat, do not just start going, because I make mistakes every single project without fail. Every single project, just saying. All the time. And I'm okay with that, because otherwise you will drive yourself crazy if you make a mistake and you want it to be perfect and you're set. You just got to figure it out. Just make it work. All it does is change up your project a little bit. Or there's always a way to fix it, that too. Why did I not bring all my score tape over here? I keep having to grab score tape. So I'm going to put some score tape around the edges. And then, where's it at? So just putting that down. I dip it down into the space. Dip it down. And like that. Probably should have used a 1/4 inch tape since it's less than our normal 1 inch around. Don't mind me, just talking to myself. And I will have some videos. I was gone for a week to Utah, and I have some videos that I'll have to get going here on the craft room and the things that I've changed, etc. So there will be more coming on that. But remember, if you guys remake this project or Karolina's project, to tag us so we can see your beautiful project. Because one, it's just fun to see it done like in different paper, or when you put little tweaks to it. We like seeing that, and I'm sure everyone else does too. So be sure to hashtag Scrappy Christmas Crafts with a K. You could tag us on Instagram or YouTube so that we could see your project. Sometimes it could be a big album, it could be a little folio. I don't even know. This year I might do a banner or something. I don't know. It all depends on timing and what, I need to make for Christmas projects. For the most part, they're folios and albums. So I'm just going to come in. You can use your tools, but I just come in and cut, leaving about 1/8 of an inch away from that chipboard corner. At least I hope so. If not, you can fix it. So don't worry. Okay, hopefully my camera is not too close. Probably is. It probably should come out just a little bit. So it's going to shake. There we go. I like it close so you guys can see the actual project. But me doing all this flipping and flapping, and like that, I like to do a little bead of glue up against the edge of the chipboard, and then close it up. I'm going to, before I mess up my table, gotta give these a good burnish so they stay together for a long time. And I like to do the top and the bottom and then side to side. It makes no difference. I don't know why I have to do it that way. But I have issues. Can you guys believe January 2024 is almost over? Does that feel crazy to anybody else? Does time go by faster as we get older? I thought it's supposed to like slow down. Or did I just make that up in my head? Totally crazy. Then take this off. I'm just throwing it on my floor. So that's one thing I haven't done yet, is had a little garbage space over here because I haven't worked this area yet of my craft room. Oh, I'm bin these in. Let's give it a little tucky tuck. I could already see that that's too big. Not glue. Just bring in those corners. bring them in. I don't even know if I got that one because I can't see on this blue mat. And then a bead of glue here. Push down, fold over, burnish, like so. This is a fairly easy album or folio to do because basically the top and bottom is symmetrical. So the two at the bottom are the same and the two at the top are the same as far as like the fold outs and flips and flaps. So you just kind of make two of everything. Again, just make sure you have a good burnish like this. And then we're going to come in and squish this down to the middle. Don't go too hard. You don't want to go through your paper, and I have done that. And if you do that, don't throw it away. Just wrap your spine. You could wrap it in black, or you could wrap it in decorative paper. Don't be wasting stuff, people. No wasting. Okay, and I always forget to do this. So we have a piece here to cover our middle, but your girl forgot to put score tape. I always, either I forget the piece or I forget to actually do this. I don't know. So I'm just going to take my little score sheet. This is just how I do it. So 4 by a little bit less than 8.5. So it fits nicely on the book. So a little bit like a 1/16 inch shorter. I like to do a full score. I'm putting my finger on here and it's going to get stuck. I like to do score tape all around my entire cover. Because I'm crazy like that. And then I just put this back and put this back in my stash. We need to give this a good burnish. And that's just to make sure everything sticks down nicely. If you did not do the burnish step, it will still work, but over time it might not stay together because you didn't, give it a chance to really adhere to the other side of whatever you're sticking it to. Okay, so I am going to we're just going to put this down. You could do glue under there too if you want to instead of tape. You could do both, which I've done before, but for now I'm just doing this to save time. Like I said, if it does crack on you, it's okay. Just figure out the solve, and the solve could be a few different things. Okay, so now we need to push this paper in there, so I'm slowly folding it up but burnishing at the same time. And I want to get in on this side. And burnish. Okay, now let's do this one. So just kind of press down, but not hard. Let the bend show you where to burnish it all down. Come on this side. And push that in like so. Okay, stop that. I don't like glue everywhere. Now I did prep some of, well, most of it, because I just didn't want you guys to have a really long video. So we are going to go over what you need to, you know, make everything basically. So we're going to do it this way. So up top here, I used 100-pound cardstock for the outside pieces. You do not have to, but I just wanted to show you guys that I did use that. It's 100-pound Artisan cardstock from Country Craft Creations. I just love when you have gussets. I love how sturdy and strong it is. So I have it, so I used it, but you do not have to. Once you mat, that can be strong as well, but just wanted to let you guys know what I used. So this is the top closure. It is 5 1/8 by a little bit less than 8 1/2, and then we'll go over the score marks. This piece is, okay, let me just do it this way. So this is the top flap, the bottom flap is 2 1/2 by a little bit less than 8 1/2, and then we're going to score on the 1/2 inch and then 1. So that goes like that. And then on the inside of that is this flap here. So the top left flap is 4 1/8 by 8 3/8. And then we're going to score at a 1/2 inch and then 7/8 of an inch there. And then this one is 3 1/2 by 4 1/8. And I did, oh, I didn't finish writing. Then you're going to score at a 1/2 inch and 7/8 of an inch on the 3 1/2 side. That is funny. So hold on, let me write that on there for those that. So score at 1/2 and 7/8. Like so. Like so. Told you there's always boo-boos. Always boo-boos. So that is the top. And then on the inside of that, which I did complete one side already to save us time, the accordions, you basically are just going to need 2 of each of these. Oh, hold on. Pocket. So this is to go on top of here. So it is on the right side, it's 3 5/8 by 2 1/2, and then you score at a 1/2 inch on 3 sides. So that will go onto this piece here. So we're going to leave that. We'll just set that up there. Then the accordion for that, underneath, you need 2 of each of these. 4 1/8 by 8 1/2, score at 4 1/4. Now, if you want it to be 4 1/4 by 4 1/4, just change that to 4 1/4. Okay, and then, and that's what you would do for anything that is marked 4 1/8. You would change it to 4 1/4 if you want it to be a little bit bigger. I just like to make sure things fit nicely inside flips and flaps and folds. And then 2 of 4 1/8 by 9, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, and then 4 3/4. 2 that are 4 1/8 by 9 1/2, and we're going to score at a 1/2 inch, 4 3/4, and then 9 inches. And that is for the top. Now for the bottom, we need 2 of everything down here. So the bottom flap, and you'll do 2, that's going to go on each side, is, did I do, oh my gosh, I think I cut my chipboard 4 1/2. And if I did, I did. It's 4 1/2. Well, oh well, you're going to see what it looks like with a 4 1/2 chipboard. Oh my goodness gracious, Tiffany. Okay, so 4 1/4 by 6, that's the bottom of the bottom. You need 2 of those. And then we score at a 1/2 inch. Then you need a piece that is 2 pieces, 4 1/4 by 5 1/4, score at a 1/2 inch. 2 pieces that are 4 1/4 by 10, and we are going to score at a 1/2 inch, 4 1/4 or 4 3/4, and then 8, 2. Then you need 2 for the top flap that is 3 1/4 by 4 1/4, and we score at a 1/2 inch here on the 3 3/4 side. And then we make a pocket for the top of that. So you'll need 2 that are 3 1/4 by 5 1/4. So we do have that. So double all of these. And this is going to be interesting building this baby. I'll have lots of room here on the inside. But that's okay. What did I say? I told you guys I would make a boo-boo. But you just make it work. This is going to be a new style. No, it'll just show you what you could do. You know, if you had a little bit bigger of chipboard. So I'm just taking this piece. Oh, we need to score, don't we? I mean, I don't know if you guys need it, but I'll just show you. So 5 1/8 by 8 1/2. Score at 1/2. And then at 1, like that. And then take your little piece that connects to this, and I did use some magnets in here, so 1/2 inch and 1. I don't even know, do you guys like to see where the score is, or do you get it from me just saying it or showing you the little diagram? I don't know. This piece is the top flap, so 4 1/8 by 8 3/8, score at 1/2 inch, and then 7/8 of an inch. And you don't have to use score tape, you can use glue. I just chose to use the glue. So for this piece, I'm going to turn it, and it's going to be 1/2 inch and 7 7/8. So we have basically a 3/8 of an inch gusset on these two, and then the other ones are a 1/2 inch gusset. So it folds nicely over. Then for the pocket, we are just scoring, and I flipped it over so I don't have writing when I want to use this, a 1/2 inch on 3 sides to make our little pocket. So you can use glue or score tape. So let's put these together first so we can get it going on. There. Okay, so I'm going to miter the corners at that first score line. Let's miter all the corners. I like to do everything all together so you don't have to keep getting your tools out, at least like in clusters. But miter all the corners, so that first score line, do not go past it if at all possible, because it will look weird. It'll create like a little hole in your folds. And you don't have to miter if you don't want to. Okay, and then this one, we are just, can you guys see? No, you can't see, but I'm going to go straight through the intersection. I just eyeball it. Like so, and then I miter the top. Don't have to do any of this. When you do the bottom, it makes it so there's not as much bulk down here. You know, so there's not all that overlapping. Can you guys see that? But if you had it and you don't care, then you're good. None of these things, you don't have to do nothing in crafting and creating. So I fold on that first line first. Good burnish. Then the second line. And just keep going. And then we'll get these glued into our book. Now you'll see on this one, I do have it as 2 1/2. I think my piece was actually like 2 3/8 because I cut wrong on another piece. But I'm not wasting any paper and cutting more, so I just used it. If somebody's that good with measurements and can see, and they're like, wait a second, that's not 2 1/2. That's why. So we fold this, and we fold this one. I know, yeah, I folded that one good. I'm just kind of working it over with my fingers, and I burnish it really well. So it's just nice and crisp. Nice and crispy. Okay, so we're going to go with our, what is supposed to be our 4 1/4 by 8 1/2, but it's 4 1/2 by 8.5. Because that's what happens over here. So I just pick it up. I'm still going to take it all the way to the edge, but you know, maybe this will be better. It gives a lot more room, wiggle room, to have like a full 4 1/4 accordion. And that's usually the size I make my waterfall folios. I have done both, depending upon whatever scrap chipboard I have left. It could be 4 by 8 or 4.5 by 8 by 8.5 by 9. And just roll with it. So we have our top on. So I'm going to push that up. Now I'm going to put my bottom on. So I like to do it like this so I can see. But I'm pushing this down. Let me see. Let me get some white cardstock so you guys can see what the heck I'm doing. Maybe I need to see what I'm doing. Where is it? I'm gonna use this. Yep, nope, that doesn't work, does it? Because then I can't see where I'm putting it. That don't work. Okay. I just want you guys to be able to see how I'm pushing this part down, and then I'm going to, whatever you do, do not go beyond the gusset here. And thankfully we have enough room where I can come in a little bit, which is nice. So I'm just trying to make sure I'm somewhat lined up with these two when I go to put these down. If you have glue, you have a little bit more wiggle room, or I do this with the score tape just to give me a little bit extra time to kind of get things in place. And it won't be perfect, and that's okay. So setting it down, and it's hard to see when it is black cardstock. I can't even see it, I'm not even talking about camera, but I don't know why, like, I struggle on black cardstock. So that might be crooked. And if so, you just kind of play with it. If you don't care, that's fine too, because the magnets will close it together. But you just, when you put the magnets on, you want it to be squared up a little bit. So that's what that will look like. But let's just burnish that into place. Boop. Boop, boop. Okay, now we have our inside flap. That was 4 1/8, but it could have been 4 1/4 and been just fine. So it's all good. And you guys know at some point I will use this for another project, so you'll be able to see what it looks like, or you could just make yours like this if you want to. But whatever I'm doing, I'm centering it in between the two score lines. So at least it's somewhat symmetrical and I can't see. So I want to at least see one side. And the light reflects on that. Okay, so I feel like that is about the same. They come down just a little bit. Why am I not? Okay. I need to just stick it down, Tiffany. Just stick it down. But I can't. Yes, I talk to myself like this. I definitely have problems. Okay, so we have that. Now we're going to do this other side, but let's put our pocket on first. And that is going to need glue. And of course, on tutorials, I always do messy glue. I don't know why, but it's messy. Okay, so we want this on this part. Make sure this is to the right. And just come down to the bottom. And if it's a little bit smaller than your actual cut, that's fine. Just do your best to center it. Or you could take it to one side or the other. You can put a notch in there if you want to. I think, I don't remember if I did or not. see. No, it did not on that one. But you can. You can even add a stacked pocket if you want to. Okay, so this is just how, again, I do it, and I have to have that paper in between for my eyes to see. So we're just gonna do this for now so I can see kind of where this is at. I like to flatten it into place so I can line them up. See how I'm kind of grabbing down here, lining up before I stick everything down. It's not always perfect. It's just somewhat of a guide. And it usually comes out okay. So I'm even there, even here. So I'm going to just put it down like that. Boop. Okay, now, and then just crease these back into place and get their shape. But once you have the accordions in there, it really shapes up nicely anyways. So it'll be like that, and then this will be our top. So let's do the accordion pieces. And we'll just go over the score. This is not the one I want. This one over here. Okay, so I have one piece, or two pieces that are, I got all this mess everywhere. Two pieces that are scored 1/2 inch, 4 3/4, 9, 2, then, and you just go down 1/2 inch. And then one piece that is 4 1/8 by 9, square at 1/2 inch, 4 3/4. These are all just going to get attached together. Then the last piece, again, you need 2 of them, score in the middle at 4 1/4. So let's just fold these babies up and get them attached. I'm going to miter our corners. It's really hard to see. Goodness. Okay, so we have that, and I said earlier I do have one side completed already. And just fold this back onto itself, but try to make sure your sides are lined up, because sometimes they aren't. And if they aren't, even after you folded them, and just give it a little bit of trim, but you cannot trim any of like a fold or anything. So I'm just folding it all over. So it should look like this when you're done with this piece. Then we're going to, so this one will get attached there, so fold this back onto itself. And fold that over. And I guarantee you, I've said this before, our cutters and our scoring is not the same. So there's gonna be a little bit of like hangover on something. Like this one has a smidgen. I'm not gonna sweat it right now. We're just gonna kind of do a little dry fit, see how we're coming along. That looks fine. So we're good there. I know like I'll want to probably cut off a little bit from the top, but we'll see. This one, just fold that in half. Line it up. Once you have your decorative paper, you do not see this stuff, so don't sweat it. So again, I'm just kind of looking at it. It feels pretty good. You know, there's a little bit off. I'm not going to worry about it, because whatever you do, you can't cut a fold. I just tried to get like one end lined up so that if I do need to trim, I can do it from one side versus both sides. So you can see I'm grabbing here, lining this up, and if I have excess, I'll be able to trim the top. And just kind of eyeballing, making sure it's good. Okay. Then I'm going to take this one and just eyeball again. Yep, we're good there. So let's put that on. Grabbing, I'm pushing this down, lining it up down there first. I give it a little bit of pinch, but not all the way. Do I like it? I like it. Yep, we're good. And that is done. Now burnish. Boop. All of those. And if you have anything, you can go back and look. I feel like even though there's like, you know, this little sliver, I'm not messing with that. I think it's just fine. So dry fit time. I'm gonna come in here and just lay this down so we can see where we're at. But, so this side is going to attach right here all the way to the end, but don't go over that score line. And then this side, because you want to make sure these don't overlap. So I'm just dry fitting first. So I went over too far here. So I need a little bit more room. So these are going to go right up to the score lines in order to fit. So I'll be fine. Okay, so now I know. Take this thing out. Let's stick these down. So I'm just going to come all the way over, and I'm lining it up into here. I'm not pushing anything down yet until I can kind of see that is there. These two go together. It does not impede. Doesn't move. I'm going to come over just a little bit more. Just a little bit up on that score line. Okay, good enough. Whoop-de-doo-dotty. And I put, just so you can see, where is my pen? I just had it right here. It's under paper. Stop it. So I did put, you do not have to though. I have a magnet here, and then I have one set right there on both sides. It's not necessary. Once you get paper on that weights it down, it just makes me feel better when things are nice and tidy, because I have problems. Oh, and every time I do tutorials, I can see when I really need to get those nails done. Whew, those are a hot mess. Hot mess. I could see on this one, I need to trim it just a little bit. Just a little. Okay. So again, I'm pushing this into this one and lining them up as best I can. Pushing that down, like so. And then I did a magnet here. So this is a magnet. I could put those on in just a second. So I have that. And then I did magnet, 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 magnet. So we will get our magnets out. And where are they? I have stuff falling everywhere. I know I had a new pack of magnets out, but we will just break into another pack. Okay, so I like to use, if you don't know, basic gray magnets. They're my favorite. I do have other magnets I use for cheaper projects, but not my folios. So I'm going to take out, see, there's 2 there, so I need 3 sets for the closures. Again, oh, you don't need a set for here. You don't need backtrack. We don't need one for that. Sorry. I did not put one on there because we have one here. So, oh, see, told you. I'm always just messing up. Messing up over here. So I am just going to, we're going to put this down. I just have a piece of scrap paper in between. Stop that. And we're going to put this where we want it. Like so. Let's get the other one on there. I really was trying to keep this one under an hour because I thought it was so fast. But I don't know, I guess not. I mean, we're not too bad, but in my head, I'm always like, oh, this is going to be fast because I prepped. It's ready. Negative. But that's okay. Okay, so I just have our little scrap pieces. I don't want to look at that. There, and let's take this one off and get everything into place. I want to make sure, did I put a magnet on that one? Oh, actually I did. I lied. As a lie. I did put one on there. Just because I think I did it. It doesn't have to have it. I just did it to keep the shape. And so this is 3 sets, and then if you wanted to do what I did on the accordion, which we're not going to do, you could do 2 sets on each, so that would be a total of, what, 5 sets? I think. This, and putting a scrap piece just helps, you know, hold it, and then when you want to release, they're connected. I didn't put that on very well. That's good enough. And then we're going to fold this up. And again, trying to keep it square is sometimes challenging. On this one, I need to reset this one because that is not square. Okay, hold. Let's take this off. And another trick that I should have used, you could just use, like, you know, put it down like that to make sure that it's totally squared up. I don't know if I'm down, I can't see. Okay, so we have that. Then you're going to make sure you are squared up. I promise you, once you get in here, it's not as hard as it's looking right now. And it's just because I'm a perfectionist and wanting it totally perfect. Okay, so we have that one there. Now to do the bottom, we just need our pieces here. And we don't need to score these, do we? I don't know, you guys tell me. But just the 1/2 inch on all of them. Except this one that is 4 1/4 by 10, it's a 1/2 inch, 4 3/4, and 8. And then for the top pocket, it's 1/2 inch all the way around. So let's miter our corners. Miter. I got a mess going on here. And this is the pocket that, I think I just did those all off camera. I was trying to do it in a cleaner spot. Sorry. Not sure if everyone knows how to miter, but oh, that one I could see. I did not go in between the intersection. So they all should look like this here. And then I have one more, and then I just need to clean up my little black confetti here. So miter those corners. And then let's just come in. Clean this off. Okay, I got that. This is under, oh, okay, that mess is over here. Okay, so we have that done. Now this is just folding and stacking. I don't like this thing. It drives me crazy. Okay, so the first piece is the 4 1/4 by 6 burnish. Then we're going to stack on top of that the 4 1/4 by 5. So making sure I'm grabbing the right pieces. So this is going to get stacked on top there. Then this piece is the 4 1/4 by 10. Fold in, crease all the lines. Line up over here as well as creasing it down. Then this is our little pocket, and I'll show you how I did the little thumb notch, which you can use your envelope punch. You don't have to have it if you don't want to. But let me grab my punch. I just do a little mark with my favorite ruler. I just kind of come down. Let me show you guys. Like a 1/4 inch with my ruler, and I line it up 2 1/8 on each side, so I know that this is my center. I kind of do a 1/2 inch mark and then a tick at where the center is, so I know where to kind of eyeball my paper punch. And I just take my 1 inch and just go above that line a little bit. Can you guys see that? Probably not. It's not always perfect, but it's okay. If you use an envelope punch board, that would be better because you can line things up a little bit more. Then fold this, and we're going to stick these all together. And this one is the pocket, so I did the same thing. Here, let's fold these up first. Kind of all over the place today. I need to get back in the rhythm of tutorials. I've been doing a couple, but they've all been retreat ones, so you guys haven't actually seen them. So, 2 1/8, again about a 1/4 inch up from the bottom, 1/2 inch mark, pencil, it's not there, there we go, 1/2 inch, and a ticky tick, just so I know, oopsie, where the center is. And then I come in, just kind of go above that. There we go. Okay, so now let's glue these together, which for me is going to be removing my tape. Pick one end, put it together. Ooh, that was in my stomach. That was really loud. I mean, you guys had to have heard that. If you don't know also, I eat a lot. Well, I should say I'm eating all the time. I don't eat a lot at one sitting, but I'm that snacker. I have to have food. I have to have food on the plane. Just in case, you know. I have to be prepared. So pushing down to the bottom, out to the top, line it up as best I can before I pull that tape off. And burnish that down. So we're just stacking it up. Like so. I shouldn't have took that all the way off, but oh well, we'll survive. Coming down to the bottom, which does not look right. Here we go. Good enough. Goes down. Now we're going to put our pocket right on top, and I punched the wrong thing. So, don't punch the pocket, punch this And it doesn't really matter, whatever. Just whatever. Now let's say you did just do what I did. You could come in and put your pocket on the inside and do it like that, but just come up a little bit so that it folds nicely and trim off the excess. But this is how it's supposed to be, is this here. I'm just gonna show you guys. It's okay, you can make things work. You could put another black piece on top of this. Just gonna make it work, peeps. But that's what I mean by there's always a way to fix it, and I try to warn you guys every time that I mess up on every single project. Oh, I want to come up just a little bit. Are you sticking already? Stop sticking. Stop sticking. I shouldn't have taken my backing off yet, but I could see it's just a little hair shorter on top and bottom. But we make it work, people. Make things work. You better work. Okay, so we have that. Now, I'm just going to show you guys one thing. It's not the end of the world. Okay, where are we at? Which piece? Nope, not that one. So, I could take my thumb notch that I took out and put some tape on it. I'm just going to show you guys, because I show you guys how I fix things all the time. If it bothers you that much. So, I'm going to, can you guys still see me? I'm just going to come in, put my tape kind of at the edge of that. Does that work? Let me make sure I did that the right way. Yes. So I'm gonna slide this in. Don't know how this, if this will work or not, but this is just how I MacGyver stuff. MacGyver. Voila. Voila. Now you could just come in, punch your notch. I'm not gonna measure. Close. Look, I was almost right on. Voila! Nobody will know. That will get covered up. Always a way to fix it. Okay, so now magically, I have one complete. Poof! So how I did this, again, dry fit, remember, it is not, you know, this one. You would line it up with the bottom, which we still could do. And I could, so we could do it like that, which I'm going to do, and then you could have just a little bit showing up top there. Or if you did it 4.5, you could do it right in the middle. Totally up to you, but I'm going to go all the way down to the bottom because I want to make sure when I close it's nice and sturdy. So again, dry fit, because some of these things right here, it's right there. Oh, look, am I missing one? We're missing one. Uh-oh, I'm off. I am off. What happened? Hold on. Oh, I was supposed to do 4. That's what it was. Hold on, peeps. It's not over. Hold on. We can still fix this. What did I say? What did I say? Okay, I'm just cutting it. So you need 4 pieces, and did I not write that? Nope, I did not. But you need 4. Let me get this on there. That are 3 3/4 by 4 1/4. This is what you need. But like I said, I mess up all the time. But this is an easy fix because this one didn't get stacked. So there you go. Let's get out our glue. This is real life, people. No editing here. No editing whatsoever. Let's get some glue on here. I'm gonna just, I gotta do both sides. think would be best. So folding that in and bumping up to the edge of the one that we already stacked, because those two are true, like same size waterfall. Okay. Okay, now let's put this one on this side. It's not perfect, but again, once you put decorative paper, you can't see any, well, for the most part, you can't see any of the flaws of your crafting. I knew something was off, because there wasn't that much room in between the tops. Okay, so now we're ready to go. Coming all the way down to the bottom, these stack in between. But what is most important is that these two, so your third one, meet and not overlap. So I'm just checking to make sure. So come all the way out to the edge, and yeah, and we have a little gap, so that's good. So we're just going to put this down. Lock so. All the way out to this edge and all the way down to the bottom. And I'll make sure I'm lined up before I take it all off. Like that. Then let's take this side. Ooh, these lights are starting to get hot. A little toasty in here. Then I'm just going to slide these in between each other and make sure I'm all the way down to the bottom, down here to the side. I'm not putting pressure on the sticky side because I want to make sure I have my little bit of space there, which is good. And I want to come up just a little bit. And open it all up, burnish, and we are done. So that is it. You just kind of overlap these, then these go down like that, and you have your tie closure. So I put my tie closure up here, but again, you could do like 4 magnets or just like 2 and have like a cut apart close this up for you as well. But that is it for our project. Looks nice. Nice, nice, nice. And again, once you get everything on there, everything squares up nicely, you are good. But this is our first Scrappy Christmas Crafts with a K. So be sure to tag us. And if for some reason my video does not get uploaded or I have issues, there will be a walkthrough and then you will see this video. But hopefully it all goes okay. But I can't wait to see what you guys have. And as always with this, if there's Christmas collections that you want to see us play with besides, because I don't think either one of us has Chabella. I have a couple like Stamperia or Stamperia, whatever it's called, but for the most part, like Cartabella, Echo Park, you know, all that good stuff. I have some oldies but goodies, so I'm open for suggestions too. But there you guys go. Don't forget, tag us on Instagram or YouTube. I will link Karolina's channel down below as well to hop over and see her video if you haven't seen hers yet. And there we go. Thanks for watching. Bye.